Hi, this is the Get Strong program. You always want to practice yoga at your own pace. Feel free to follow Kat for the starter version of the routine, or for more advanced modifications, you can follow Stephanie. We're going to begin the practice in a seated position, and some of us aren't comfortable sitting on the floor. In that case, follow Kat. She's going to be sitting on a block. Makes it more comfortable for the hips and knees. Please take a hold of your strap. The strap should be folded over. You're going to hold on to it with each hand and bring your hands so they're shoulder distance apart. The arms are straight. Now, with the hands, you're going to pull the strap in too. And just doing that really engages all the muscles in the arms. Keep pulling the strap in too, and then let's lift it up over the head. Lift the strap up over the head, keeping the belly in. Now, you're going to continue to pull the strap into with the arms, but try bending the elbows out to the sides. Now, keep pulling. That's what creates the upper body strength. Pull it as you push the arms back to straight. Let's do that a few times with your breath. So you're going to inhale your elbows out to the sides, and exhale, squeeze the arms straight. Inhaling, the elbows bend, and exhale. One last full breath. Energy comes into the body on the inhale, and a clearing exhale. Nice. And then release the strap all the way down, and you can just bring it to the side of you. We're going to do a side stretch pose. So begin by taking your right hand directly to the ceiling. Fingers point straight up. You're going to lift your chest up and begin to stretch to the side just a little bit at a time. Now, you may want to stay on your fingertips here with Kat, or if you like, you can move on to a flat hand. For more of a challenge, follow Stephanie as she goes down to her elbow and moves into a deeper stretch. Either way, you want to lift your chest up and extend through the fingertips. Let's all take a breath here. Come all the way up to sitting, and then that hand is going to reach around and grab onto the left knee or the thigh, wherever it's comfortable for you. We're going to move into a twist, so you start by lifting the chest up, dropping the shoulders down, and then gently use the hands to guide the body into the twist. Now you want to just go gently. This is our warm-up. Let's take a breath here. Release the pose, and we'll try that on side two. Take your left hand straight up to the ceiling, and then we begin the side stretch just a little bit at a time. You go down as far into the stretch as is comfortable for you. Reaching your chest up is part of what helps us get a better posture. Squeeze the arms straight and breathe. Come all the way to the center, and we'll move into that twist. So move into the twist on side two. Elongate the spine, start to lift up nice and tall, and then gently use the hands to guide yourself in, just a little bit at a time. Nice, and release. We're gonna do some wrist circles to really stretch out the wrists. So make some fists in front of your body, and let's roll the fists out to the side, in and up. We'll do a few wrist circles like this. We're going to be doing some work on the hands and knees and really using upper body strength, so it'll feel nice to get these wrists stretched out. Let's try the circles the other direction. This is a great stretch you can do anytime. It's good for work on the computer, or if you've done a lot of text messaging. Always feels great to stretch out the wrists. Nice. We're gonna come onto a hands and knees position. So take your props, and we're just gonna move them to the side. And when we come onto the hands and knees, you might want to follow Kat. She's putting some padding underneath the knees for support. Now, hands and knees, the hands go directly under the shoulders. Your fingers are spread wide and the fingers are pointing straight ahead. Knees under the hips. We're gonna do a yoga pose called the cat. Start by lifting your chest forward and drawing the shoulders back and away from the ears. Take the sit bones up, coming into a gentle back bend. Now let's do the opposite by rounding the back, pulling the belly in and dropping the head towards the floor. Oh, feels great. We're gonna do that a few times with the breath. So on the inhale, open the chest, shoulders away from the ears, and then exhale, do the opposite. Round the back, press the breath out of the body. Inhale, draw the shoulders away from the ears, deep breath. Exhale, releasing tension. Last one, inhaling and exhaling. Come back to a neutral spine. Nicely done. Now you're gonna take your hands and walk them back towards your knees so that we come up to standing on the shins. Take a moment and see that the belly is pulling in and the tailbone down to protect your spine. Put your hands on your hips and take your front leg and just stretch it out in front of you. Now this front leg, you wanna point the toe and the leg just a little bit bent. This front hand, slide it down the leg, either above or below the kneecap, just not right on the kneecap. Now your back hand, go ahead and extend it to the ceiling. Reach up through the chest and then begin to move into the side stretch. Just go as far as is comfortable for you. Stephanie's sliding her hand way down the leg. Now keep your chest lifted, lift all together. Take a nice deep breath. Okay, and come up out of the pose, bringing your hands back to your hips. We're gonna get that on the other side. So your back leg extended away from you. Slide the foot away and it points straight ahead. Get your bottom hand nice and grounded wherever is comfortable for you, and the top hand, reach it straight up to the ceiling. Let's all take a deep breath in to get tall, and then exhale, move into the side stretch. Keep the chest lifting up, nice elongated posture. Last breath here. And then come all the way back up, come back to your knees, hands on your hips. Excellent. We're gonna walk the hands back forward into the all fours position. So walk them forward till the hands are under the shoulders. Now we're gonna do a balancing core strengthening move. Begin by taking your front hand and extending it forward in front of you. Really elongate through the fingertips. Now this is already a lot of work for the upper body. If you like, add challenge by curling your back toes under and squeezing your back leg straight. Finally, if you'd like to join Stephanie, she's picking her back foot up off the floor for added balance. Wherever you are, keep your belly lifted to support the spine. And let's release, come up out of it, and let's get that on side too. So take your back hand and extend it forward in front of you. Nice, just get comfortable here for a moment. And then if you'd like, add the back leg by curling the toes under and squeezing the legs straight. Optional, picking your leg up off the floor. Use your belly to support you. Balance is challenging, you just hang in there. And then release back to the hands and knees position. Excellent. We're gonna do a pose now called the downward facing dog. Begin by curling your toes under. And here's what we do. We take the knees up off the floor, but right away pull your whole body, your hips, back away from the hands. Your knees are very bent, very, very bent. Elongate the spine, drop the head. Press down through your fingers, straightening your arms. Take a full breath here. Now we're gonna move into a pose called the plank. you're gonna bring the body forward so the shoulders are directly above the wrists. Now, if you'd like, you can join Cat. She's just gonna drop her knees to the floor. Plank pose, you wanna use the belly muscles to keep you lifted. And then all together, we're gonna lower straight to the floor. But try to keep your body straight like a plank of wood. Nice. We're gonna do a back opener called the Sphinx. So take your elbows under the shoulders and extend your hands forward. Spread your fingers wide. Lift up out of the shoulders. Shoulders are away from you. Gentle back opener. Let's all take a breath here. And release. We're gonna go through the all fours position, through all fours, and back into downward facing dog. Curl the toes under and pull the hips back away from the hands. Now you can stay here with Cat or try your front heel. Press it towards the floor, squeezing that front leg straight. And then switch sides. This is what we call pedaling the legs. Go back and forth a few times. Really feels nice on all the muscles of the feet, the ankles, opening up the calves. Okay, so let's all together come into the plank pose again. Keep the belly lifted. Now we're gonna add a little challenge. Your front foot, pick it up off the floor just a couple of inches. But again, use your belly to stay lifted. Release the foot down. Let's take the other foot, pick it up. Keep breathing. And then release the foot down. Now when we go to the floor, try to keep the elbows hugged into the body the whole ride down. Now you're gonna grab a hold of the strap. Take the strap and bring it into both hands behind you. Each hand takes a hold of the strap. Your hands are shoulder distance, and just like before, you wanna stretch the strap in two. Lift your shoulders up, and now try picking your hands up off the body. This is a great back strengthener. Tailbone presses down, feet press down. Let's all take one full breath. Okay, and let it go. Now we're going back through all fours and back into downward facing dog. That's how we go. Curl the toes under and back to dog. Now you can keep the knees very bent, or if you'd like, join Stephanie and myself. We're gonna try straightening the legs by pressing the heels down and drawing the thighs back. Now if straightening the legs makes your body round up, well then just keep a little bend in the knees. Okay, let's again come into that plank pose. And now watch this, you guys. You're gonna roll to the front and come on to the bottom foot. Stack the top foot on top of the bottom. You'll notice Kat's got her bottom knee down. Then try top hand to the ceiling. Now you wanna use the core muscles to keep you lifted. And if you really wanna challenge yourself, join Stephanie by picking the top foot up. And then release the body down. We're going right to side two. Right to side two. Take that left hand straight up. Now's a good time to keep your sense of humor. And then release it down. Okay, so you guys, we're gonna lower to the floor, and it's almost like you want the belly to be the last thing to touch. So lower down, and yes, belly's the last thing to touch. Now we're gonna do a pose called the cobra. So slide the hands so they're in the middle of your chest. Elbows hug in, shoulders together behind you. Let's lift up just a couple of inches. So let's take the shoulders and chest up off the floor, a couple inches. Let's breathe here. And just notice how your back feels. Really beginning to open after all that work. And release down. We're gonna do it again. Hug your elbows in for safety. Shoulders squeeze together behind you. Now come up a few inches, and if it feels all right, you can just go up a few more inches. Always making sure that the shoulders squeeze together behind you. These back bends are great for your posture. And release down. We're gonna do it one last time. So press down through the hands, and this time you go up as high as is comfortable for you. Just make sure you don't straighten the arms, because it can roll the shoulders forward. Keep the elbows bent, and look at this, draw the shoulders back, opening up the chest so there's room to breathe. Take one last full breath here. And let's all release it down. Great. Go ahead and come all the way down onto your belly. We're gonna rest here. You've earned a few deep breaths. Take one final relaxing breath. Great, and then we're gonna roll onto our sides and finally onto our backs. Come onto your back and bring your knees into your chest. Hug them in and rock them around, just to give yourself a little relief after all that work. Nice. Now keep your knees into your chest and take a hold of your block. And you're gonna put the block right in between the thighs. So the inner thigh muscles really hug the block. Now take the arms out to the sides so they make the shape of a T. Press the hands down and press your shoulders down to get grounded. Press the belly into the floor. Now we're gonna move really slowly so that it is an abdominal strengthener. Take your knees to the front, about halfway down, and hold it here. Hold it and breathe. Now as we hold it, you want to press the back shoulder into the floor and get grounded through the back hand. Now we want to come up super slowly. Coming up slower is of course more challenging, but that's the work on the abdominals. Let's take the legs over to the back. So bring them about halfway to the back. And again, we hold it here. Let's take one full breath. And then slowly bring the legs back up to the center. Now you can keep the challenge with your knees bent, that's what Kat will be doing, or join Stephanie and myself. We're gonna straighten the legs for a little more challenge. The legs are up there, you wanna flex the feet, pressing your heels to the ceiling. Let's take the legs to the front. Again, very slowly, breathing the whole ride down. We stop halfway, press the back shoulder down, feel all those abdominal muscles working, and come up smoothly and slowly. Nice. Okay, let's get that on the other side. Take the legs towards the back of the room. Keep the breath moving. It's really challenging to breathe while you're doing abdominal work. But you gotta keep the breath going. Let's come back up to center. Okay, and we're gonna do it one more time. So take the legs, again, halfway to the front, and if you like, you can join Stephanie. She's taken her legs a little lower. Just make sure that they don't touch the floor all the way. It's a strengthener, so you really wanna use those core muscles. Last full breath. And then take the legs all the way up, and we'll get that on side two. Bring the legs all the way over. Press the shoulders down, press the thighs together, and come all the way up to the center, nice, and bend the knees, and release the block off to the sides. Nicely done, you guys. Just release the block down. Now, right now, your feet are on the floor, hip distance and parallel. Your arms are down by your sides. We're gonna do a couple of real cleansing breaths. So take your hips up and your arms way up over your head. That's the inhale. And then exhale, you just come right back down. Hips down and the arms down. These are cleansing breaths. So really inhale all the way to the fingertips and exhale all the way down. Last one, really make it count. Inhale and exhale. Nice. Now take a hold of your strap. Press down through the feet and lift your hips up. So take the hips up, let's just hold it here for a moment. You take the strap underneath you, so you grab onto the strap with both hands. Now this is just like what we were doing before. Both hands hold the strap and they pull the strap apart to strengthen the arm. Now take the hips a little higher and you're gonna roll from one side to the other to get the sides of the arms underneath you. Check in with the feet for a moment. Press down the inner edges. Make sure you're comfortable. Okay, now we're gonna do a little more of a challenge. Try this. Bring your feet towards each other just a little bit and hug the knees to the midline. Now your front leg, bring the knee into the chest and then try straightening the leg straight up to the ceiling. Your hands push the floor away to help you get a little higher. Now release that leg down and we'll get side two. Back leg into the chest and foot to the ceiling. You can give the toes a little wiggle to wake them up there. And then release the foot down. Now you want to bring your feet back to hip distance. Take the hips way up there and then you're going to release the strap, get it out of the way, and then lower the hips down. Nicely done. Hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little relief. Now we've just been doing bridge pose as a way to strengthen the body. And now we're gonna do bridge pose as a restorative pose. I'll show you what I mean. Take a hold of the block. You take the block, press down through the feet, lift the hips up just enough to get the block underneath your hips, and then you relax the hips just down onto the block. Take a moment here. Now this might feel great, you can stay here with Kat, or if you like, you can take the block up a little higher, put it on its side, or if you like, put the block all the way up with Stephanie. First, check in with your feet. See that they're pointing straight ahead, and your legs, make sure they're guiding straight. Now, relax your arms out to the sides, palms face up, and you can kind of, again, tuck the outsides of the arms together underneath you. Take a moment to close your eyes here. Let's take a few really deep, soothing breaths. Now in yoga, we call this a restorative pose because as we relax onto the block, the body restores its energy. It's your chance to get rejuvenated. So really let yourself get heavy into the block. Take a few more full, restorative breaths here. And then release. Now the way we get out of here is you press down through the feet so the hips come up just enough to get the block out from under you and release the hips down to the floor. Ooh, let's once again bring the knees into the chest just to give everything a little relief and stretch it out. We're gonna do a few leg stretches to cool down. So take a hold of your strap. Once again, grab onto the strap and come back to that same position. Your feet are on the floor, knees are up. Now, you're gonna take your front leg, bring the knee into the chest, and take the foot to the ceiling. Now, this front leg, keep it bent so that you can take the strap around the foot. Start with the knee bent, and then as you feel comfortable, you can press the leg towards straight. And you'll notice that as you do this, your hand slides down the strap. Take a full breath here. Feel a nice stretch in the back of the leg. And then if you'd like to, you can extend that back leg down to the floor, pressing through the heel. Your back leg, really firm it to the ground to support you. You can stay here to stretch out the leg, or take both ends of the strap and put it into your front hand. both ends of the strap into the front hand. Now you're gonna take that front leg to the front and go slowly as you do this leg stretch, only as far as is comfortable for you. Opening the hips, opening the backs of the legs. Let's take 2 more breaths. Gently bring the leg back up to center, bend both knees in, release the strap, give the knees a hug. Great, we're gonna get that stretch on side 2. So start by placing both feet on the floor, knees up. Take the strap in both hands, take the back knee into your chest and the foot to the ceiling. Keep that back knee bent a lot and take the strap all the way around the foot. Keep the knee bent, or if you like, press it towards straight, just a little at a time. Keep checking in, see how your body feels. Let's take a breath here. And then if you like, front leg now, stretch it all the way flat on the floor. Now that front leg, it's working. It's pressing into the floor. Make sure the shoulders stay relaxed. Make sure the jaw and the throat stay relaxed. This is our time to cool down. Now, if you like, both ends of the strap into the back hand, and we'll take that back foot to the back. Again, just go as far as is comfortable for you. Once you land, let's take 2 full, relaxing breaths. Bring the leg back to the center, and we're bringing both knees into the chest, and just release the strap and put it down by your side. Hug the knees in. Nicely done. Excellent work. So now you're gonna move into what we call a final relaxation pose. So join Kat and Stephanie by extending your legs flat on the floor. Get the legs flat on the floor with your feet and legs just relaxing open. Take the arms out to the sides and your palms face up. You can give your fingers a little wiggle to make sure they're relaxed. Allow your eyes to close. Let's all take one cleansing breath, one breath that's in through the nose, and then together, let's just do one out through the mouth. Allow your breath to come back to a nice, easy pace. In and out through your nose. Send some of that healing breath down your legs and into your feet. Send healing breath down your arms and into your hands. Allow the muscles of the face to soften. Your jaw releases. Watch your breath slow itself down. Notice that the body slightly rises up and expands on the inhale, and it softens and relaxes on the exhale. In and out. Continue a few more breaths. And then hug your knees slowly into your chest. Wrap them around. And then you're gonna roll to one side, press yourself up, and come into a seated position. Again, you can join cat by sitting on the block. Your legs are crossed comfortably. Sit up nice and tall with the shoulders relaxed. Let's take a moment here to close the eyes. Just notice how different the body feels from practicing yoga. Allow the eyes to open and bring the palms together at the center of the chest. When we finish a yoga program, we say to each other the word namaste, which basically means that we worked hard, we showed up, and we did our best. Thanks for playing along. Namaste.